Peter Pan was an unhappy child. He never got what he wanted, so he really wished to grow up. Only adults have money and can decide what to buy and where to go. After he grew up, he found that although adults have money, they can't satisfy themselves. So he really wanted to turn back into a child. After all, a piece of gingerbread that was small in the hands of an adult would turn into a big piece when it was put back in the hands of a child. Sadly, Dad, there is no such magic for time travel in this world. One day, Peter Pan has a friend named Gulliver who just returned from a world tour. Peter Pan visited him. Gulliver was very excited and bragged about his bizarre experiences during his travel. And he mentioned a place called the Land of Giants. Peter Pan thought this is his dreamland. He asked Gulliver to take him on his next sailing trip to the Land of Giants. Hey, do you know what happened with the Little Mermaid recently? Asked Gulliver. Of course, didn't she turn into bubbles? Said the Peter Pan. Do you know why she's willing to turn into bubbles? I couldn't think of an answer. Fell said the Peter Pan. Then why did she fall in love with the prince? Asked Gulliver. Do love need a reason? Asked in reply the Peter Pan. Of course we need it. How can there be love for no reason in this world? Said Gulliver. Peter Pan didn't know how to answer. He only wished he could enter a bigger world and found out the answer. Peter Pan walked into a patch of grass. The grass was taller than him and can hide him very well. There were giants passed by not far away, but Peter Pan could only see their feet. Peter Pan carefully avoided them to prevent being trampled to death. After a long walk, he saw a paper plane on the ground. He sat on it. Meanwhile, a gust of wind blew the paper plane into the sky and went to a further place. Peter Pan was brought to pass rows of houses where giants live. Just the time he was about to worry, he was blew into a window. He saw a girl staring at him in surprise. Although this girl was also a giant to Peter Pan, she's much smaller than the other giants in this land. The girl held Peter Pan in her palm and said, Hello, nice to meet you. I'm the Lady Dwarf, the smallest person in the Land of Giants. Hi, my name is Peter Pan. Since I'm here now, you're not the smallest person anymore, said the Peter Pan. The Lady Dwarf looked at him carefully. You are not bigger than my hand, just like the size of my doll. Maybe you will like my dollhouse, said the Lady Dwarf. She carefully put Peter Pan into the dollhouse. But after waiting for a long time, she heard absolutely no sound. Hey, Peter Pan, can you hear me? I'm coming in. Are you in the living room? No. Are you in the kitchen? Are you hungry? No. Are you in the study room? You're not here. You're on the bed. I hope you have a sweet dream. Thereafter, they had a lot of fun together. The lady dwarf made Peter Pan a cake. Peter Pan couldn't finish a smallest piece of cake for a month. Peter Pan liked this feeling of being overly satisfied by everything in this land. It's like the feeling of being spoiled. The lady dwarf made a portrait of Peter Pan. In fact, Peter Pan had an unspeakable secret. He likes women who are taller than himself. But after coming to the land of giants, he found that the giants are too big to see his tiny existence. He had to avoid all the giants to ensure that he would not be trampled to death accidentally. This is the first time he has been seeing clearly since he came to this land. One day, the lady dwarf was sewing the Peter Pan suitable sized suits and blanket. She accidentally pricked her hand with the needle. Peter Pan got terribly distressed for her, because a wound the size of a needle point to the lady dwarf is equivalent to the size of Peter Pan's wrist. Peter Pan was upset with himself. He didn't know what he could do for the lady dwarf. He wished he had the power to protect her. Therefore, Peter Pan made up his mind that one day he will make the lady dwarf's wish come true as long as she demanded. The days when Peter Pan lived with the lady dwarf were the happiest time in his life. Every day, he just wanted to jump into the lady dwarf's body. Her body is so soft, no matter where he went. It's just like hiding in the floating clouds. Walking over the body of the loved one is like Gulliver completing his own world tour. Peter Pan just felt that he didn't want to go anywhere else. One day, the lady dwarf took the Peter Pan outside. Peter Pan looked up at her, and she looked up at the other giants on the road. She said to Peter Pan, "I admire you, because I dare not talk to someone bigger than me. But you came along to the lands of giants. Don't be afraid. You're the most wonderful person I have ever met in my lifetime," said the Peter Pan. "Please, I beg you, take me to your world. I no more want to be the smallest person in the land of giants," said the lady dwarf. Peter Pan was miserable. Taking the lady dwarf back to his hometown means he has to let go of the happy life he now has. But if he doesn't take her back, means the lady dwarf will live miserable in the land of giants. But the answer has always been the only one. By the side of the loved one is the life Peter Pan longs to. He really wanted to make the lady dwarf's wish come true, so he asked the Gulliver to help. They boarded on the Gulliver's ship and sailed on the ocean. "Man, long time no see. Can't believe we're on the way home with the lady dwarf. You gotta thank God that I have such a big ship for her size," said the Gulliver. I seem to understand why the mermaid fell in love with the prince, said the Peter Pan. Why? Asked the Gulliver. Because she longed to come to land, said the Peter Pan. Gulliver smiled and asked, So do you need a reason to love someone? Peter Pan laughed, but instead of looking at the lady dwarf, he stared at the ocean and said, Who knows? Didn't the mermaid go back to the ocean and turn into sea form? Yeah, who knows?